On the morning of Saturday, the 28th of December, 1991, a cyclist was riding along Guess Avenue, Arncliffe, now the suburb of Wolli Creek, when he noticed an object in the grass adjacent to a rail bridge. Thinking that the object, wrapped in plastic garbage bags, may have been a decomposing animal, he made a closer inspection, only to discover that it was the body of a young woman. At the time, this section of Arncliffe was an industrial area, with no businesses open to make a report over the telephone. The cyclist frantically pedalled away to raise the alarm at the nearest police station. Upon arrival, other than the body itself, police found little other evidence at the scene in connection to the crime. To complicate matters, overnight rain would have washed evidence off the plastic bags. The body was conveyed to the Glebe mortuary, where a post-mortem was conducted. It was discovered that the young woman had suffered horrific injuries. Her face had multiple abrasions and her skull was fractured. There was evidence of strangulation and asphyxiation with a wad of newspaper stuffed into her mouth. It was estimated that the victim was aged between 16 and 25 years old. She was of a small build and appeared to be of Mediterranean origin. Apart from a watch, a ring, and her clothing, there was nothing located on the woman that could easily identify her. A search of the missing persons files revealed that no one matching the woman's description had been reported to police. Discovering the victim's identity would require further investigation. An early break in the case occurred when analysis of the wad of newspaper found in the woman's mouth revealed a partial set of fingerprints had been left on 2 pages of the Sydney Morning Herald. In the history of New South Wales Police, this potentially could be the first case where the identity of a homicide suspect was confirmed before the identity of the victim. But it would be a false dawn, as the fingerprints would not get a hit on the database. It would be later discovered that the suspect's prints were indeed on file, but a strange irregularity would set the investigation back months. As the case headed into New Year's 1992, the identity of who the police and media dubbed Jane Doe was still a mystery. In an attempt to reach people who may have known her in life, police released a computer-generated image of Jane Doe to the media, with clothing matching those she was found in. In April 1992, a young woman approached police claiming she knew the identity of the girl in the image. She said she had met her when she was working as a waitress at the Pink Panther nightclub and that they had both shared an apartment. She identified her as 22-year-old Viviane Ruiz. Born in Spain in 1970, she had no immediate family left in Australia after her parents had returned to Europe. Dental records would later confirm beyond doubt that Viviane was Jane Doe. In order to afford plane fares to Europe to see her family, Viviane made extra money as a dancer and prostitute working out of King's Cross nightclubs. Viviane had a new boyfriend who was known to have been disapproving of her part-time profession and was often reportedly violent with her. He became a key suspect in the case. When his fingerprints were compared to those located on the newspaper lodged in her mouth, it was found to be a match, apart from a strange anomaly. When inserting the newspaper, fluid had been wiped off the ridges of the finger, but remained in the grooves, effectively leaving a negative image on the paper, the reason why the original match was missed. With the suspect now nominated in the case, police inquiries revealed that Viviane's boyfriend had fled the country on the 2nd of January 1992, flying out of Sydney's Kingsford Smith Airport 6 days after the location of the body and the subsequent reports in the media. Tracked down to the city of Newcastle upon Tyne in the United Kingdom, the man was arrested by local police and extradited back to Australia. The suspect was Richard White. It was theorised that around Christmas Day, at an unknown location, White had murdered Viviane and may have kept her body under his parents' house in the Sydney suburb of Bexley before transporting her body in his white Toyota Hiace and dumping it in Guess Avenue, Arncliffe on the night of the 27th or early morning of the 28th of December. Standing trial in the New South Wales Supreme Court in 1996, Richard George Hugh White was convicted of murder on the basis of the fingerprint evidence and partial admissions that White had made to British police following his arrest. Due to legislation at the time, White would only be sentenced to 15 years with a non-parole period of 9 years for the murder of Viviane Ruiz. On the 31st of May 1992, Viviane Ruiz was laid to rest in a pauper's grave at Sydney's Rookwood Cemetery, attended by a priest, funeral staff and 2 close friends. As a direct result of her death, increased police resources and a renewed focus on missing persons located up to 100 women and girls who had been reported missing, many of whom were reunited with their family and friends. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.